B2B sales data startup Lusha, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Lusha, secures $40 million in A series funding. Now, Lusha, are you familiar with this company before I dive into it?
I am not.
Okay, so they provide emails, contact information, that side of things. They clearly do it by scraping websites and doing what a lot of other websites do. But the, I guess, USP, unique selling point, is that it's also crowdsourced within their own sales community. Now, that to me sounds like a lot of buzzwords and a lot of, like, I don't really care where it comes from. I just want the data and I want it to be relevant. But it was the numbers within the community that made my ears prick up and give it that valuation, or get that number of cash, that cash being thrown into it, made more sense. The community has expanded to over 520,000 sales professionals, over 167,000 sales organizations. So at that point of that scale, perhaps you can do crowdsourcing for information. Perhaps you get that, is it the 6 degrees of separation? Perhaps there's enough people in there in the B2B space that they are 1 or 2 degrees away from being able to make an introduction. I assume the service is you supply an email address that's needed, and then you get one for free on the back end of it, and there's that exchange process in place. What do you think about this, Victor, for, I guess, modern B2B sales networking? Was 20 years ago, you might have had to go down the golf club and catch the buyer on the way out, or buy them a few drinks or whatever it is. And now we're doing it. Salespeople are doing it themselves internally within a closed platform.
Well, first of all, I'm disappointed in myself that I don't know who Lusha or Lusha is. By the way, send us a reminder on thisweekinsales.com if we don't know, if we're pronouncing it wrong, if you're from Lusha or Lusha. So I feel bad that I didn't even hear about this company. And then I realized when you posted these numbers, I'm like, what? Why haven't I heard about this company? So I think the reason, in fact, you know what, Will, I'm not taking the blame. I'm going to blame their marketing department. Their marketing department needs to step up so people like me can find out more about it. How's that for? Abdicating responsibility.
Well, look, Victor, I've got to call you out for that, mate. You, sales expert, trainer, entrepreneur, maybe you're just not their customer. Maybe B2B salespeople. Maybe we've lost touch with our B2B sales backgrounds. Maybe if you were a B2B salesperson, the marketing team are killing it and you would know exactly who they are. Maybe.
I feel like I'm just lost right now. So anyway, by the way, congratulations to them. I mean, that's pretty amazing. If you look at those numbers, 520,000 sales professionals, 167,000 sales organizations. Good for you guys. Make good use of that money. Don't blow it at the bar or anything. Let's invest it back in the company. Let's make things happen. And again, a reminder, for any feedback, comments, or you just want to say hi to us, go to thisweekinsales.com. And if it's good news and you want to kind of lavish us with praise, on that note, hey, let's move over to our sales tool and technology update. Sugar CRM. By the way, I just love that name. I got to say, I love the name. Sugar CRM. What kind of CRM do you have? Man, it's sugar. Sugar CRM users can now utilize Exceed's conversational AI to automate lead qualification. I just had a random thought, Will, and I have to kind of back up a little bit.
Okay.
So when you look at going back to Lusha, aren't there a lot of other companies doing what they're doing? You know what I mean? Building a platform much like this without the crowdsourcing data aspect. I wanted to ask you about that. Are a lot of companies doing this?
Yes. I think what separates Lusha from, and again, I've not been in the platform. I'm commentating this from the outside in on news reports as opposed to being a user myself to make things clear. I think the crowdsourcing element of it is supposed to be its unique selling property in that it's not just dragging data from a website that might be out of date. When something is out of date on the platform, I assume people can flag it up as out of date, and then you can add a correct email, phone number, whatever it is in there. Because this is a smart move as well, in that at some point, LinkedIn is just going to close its doors. Every data provider, whether they admit it or not, is basically scraping LinkedIn for content, right? And contact information. And it used to be way more public. Then they've half closed it off now. And eventually they're going to close it off because it's a paid service that they're going to give. And they kind of give it through Sales Navigator already. So I think what they're doing, yes, there's tons of people in the marketplace. I use, for example, Lead IQ. I've used that for years now. So grab email addresses and phone numbers and things like that. But I think what they're proposing is maybe all that's going to disappear. It's going to be difficult to scrape this information, and our information is way more up to date because there's so many salespeople on the platform, updating things as they go along.
Doesn't it seem though, and I don't want to belabor the Lusha, but let me go fly in the Lusha ointment for a second. I already pinged their marketing people, might as well ping their business people as well. Like, why would I want to? And I need you to help me clarify, because again, I'm just lost on this topic.
Okay.
On the crowdsourcing, I always think Wikipedia, right? We crowdsource that. We make sure that the information's accurate on Wikipedia, right? Very similar approach here. If I'm selling and I want to go into a certain market, why would I want to update information that might help my competitor get in?
So again, I'm assuming, I will have a look in a second as we go through the next topic. I'm assuming that when you update something, then you get a credit so that you can pull data back from it at a later date.
Okay. Pay for play, so to speak.
The
more you contribute, the more you get back.
But let me also ask you this, Victor. Why does anyone for free spend time updating Wikipedia? People don't get paid for that.
I don't know. You're right. Why do they do that? If you'd asked 20 years ago, hey, by the way, here's the deal. There's going to be this online library. Everybody's going to participate, use their knowledge, give it away for free, update everything. Nobody charges anything. No, you wouldn't believe it. Encyclopedia Britannica would still be in business if it wasn't for Wikipedia, things like that. So it is amazing. It is. By the way, I kind of find it reassuring from a humanity standpoint that we're willing to kind of get together, kumbaya on the data and share. So that's a good point. Now,
let me interrupt you. I've got one more sidetrack I want to go on this, because Victor, I don't feel like I've made it, right? I feel like I'm a few steps behind you in a few areas of life. I'm sure it'll come with time. But I don't think I've made it because I don't have my own Wikipedia page, and you do. You have a killer Wikipedia page. So my question is, did you create this Wikipedia page 10 years ago and now it gets updated by other people as different projects and things happen? Or I'm genuinely intrigued. How did the Wikipedia page come across? Clearly, you've had a TV show, massive YouTube channel, loads of other things going on. But how did the Wikipedia page come about?
Somebody actually built it. They just said, "I want to build your Wikipedia page," because I can't do it. You know how you can't build your own Wikipedia page? You're not allowed. Somebody has to build it for you. I think it got past the filters on Wikipedia because the television show.
Sure.
The books are great, but the television show was the one that really, yes, Victor Antonio has a television show. Mm-hmm. So the television show is the one that actually, I think, pushed it over the top and didn't get deleted. Because years ago, I tried to do it myself, and it got deleted almost immediately. So this time, somebody who I guess really appreciated and liked me says, you know what, I'm going to take it on, and I'll build your Wikipedia page. So I really don't understand, but yes, I have a Wikipedia page. You know, Will, step up your game. Come on, step up your game. Will.
Genuinely, it's something I pondered, because also we'll bring it back onto topic. But just even having links and having a Wikipedia page increases your Google rankings and all kind of things, because it makes you legit. Because there is such a barrier to creating your own.